Hello everyone and welcome to this demonstration of FreeMind. FreeMind is mind mapping software that allows you to organize your ideas and presentations that you might be making, as well as some other uses as well. You can download it for free from sourceforge.net. You can Google that and you'll quickly get to this page here. This table shows you all the different distributions and ways that you can get it. It's fairly easy to install, just like most programs. Once it installs, you will be able to open files that have the extension .mm. It is Java-based, meaning that it is multi-platform, and you can, once it's set up, you can create new files by either going to the File menu and selecting New, or using Control-N. Once you have this mind map created, whatever you name this root node will become the default name for the file when you save it. You can see that it's put root node there in that file. It's warning me that I haven't saved that file now. So there are a couple of downsides to FreeMind as a piece of software. While it's free, it is Java-based, which means that its spell checking can be a little bit finicky from platform to platform. One particular quirk I've noticed is that if you capitalize something for any reason and it's not the beginning of a sentence, it will interpret that as an error. So if you're not sure about the way you've spelled the word and you want to take advantage of spell check, you need to change that back to its regular case to see if that squiggle does in fact go away. Another issue is that it doesn't export perfectly in every situation. It does have many export options to HTML, to Flash, to JavaScript enabled HTML, and to the Open Document template or the Open Document format for LibreOffice and OpenOffice. I'll show you the example of that in just a minute, but you can also do straight images and PDFs and the like. Some of them work a little bit better than others, but in general, exporting is a little clunkier than you would expect from a commercially produced software. So what can you use mind mapping for? Mind mapping is, once you've learned to use the tool, is extremely efficient at note-taking. It can also be used in meetings to actually run the meeting. You can actually run an entire meeting from a mind map by having your agenda, particular issues you want to discuss, information about those issues that you might need to add. You can use the linking feature of mind mapping to connect issues so that you remember that one drives the other. These linking arrows are bidirectional or one way as opposed to the other. This menu I'm using, by the way, is the right-click context menu. Depending on what you right-click on, a different set of options will come up. You can see I can change the color of the link or simply remove it. Another great use for mind mapping is your ability to plot out writing and structure your argument or your writing so as to be more effective. Once you've created a mind map like I've done here, you can export it into a open document format and manipulate it from there into a full version of what you're writing. I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like if I was to export the mind map you're looking at right now into the open document format and open it up with Microsoft Word. You can see it's got this hierarchical numbering system showing what the relationship of these different ideas were to the file that we're looking at right now. From this, you could then go in and compose your narrative, but you've got the main ideas that you wanted to get out in that particular section preloaded in there for you. The general purpose of mind mapping is information design, so you can use it for planning presentations, as I did for this presentation, or you can use it for website structuring or any situation where you need to organize information for a more effective presentation. Mind mapping can be used for project planning, to lay out roles and responsibilities, to show the relationship between particular tasks and issues that a project is having. As when you're doing a meeting, you can skip over particular topics. I can leave entire topic areas closed and not discuss them right here. If, for example, someone were to ask me what we can use mind mapping for engineering, we can open that up, but for now I can leave it closed and simply move on. The basic controls of FreeMind can be divided up into writing controls and controls used for navigation. Writing controls consist of this node system where you have this hierarchical breakdown of nodes. The two keys you need for that are the insert key and the enter key. Now you can always add nodes through the context menu here. So you have the insert child node, new sibling node, but you can be a lot faster if you use the insert and enter keys. The insert key is going to add a child to the current node you have selected. The enter key is going to add a sibling to the current node you have selected. So as opposed to going one more level down, we simply add another sibling to the first child. You can use the arrow keys to move left and right or up and down in the hierarchy. The space bar opens and closes each hierarchy. When mind maps get really big and complex, you might have enormous architectures open and closed. You can use the mouse to click in white space and move around that mind map. You can also control zoom to put the entire map into context. You can also very quickly, using these tools, open and shut entire trees to make the presentation a little bit more clean. When you have two ideas that you want to relate to each other, you can select them with the multiple select key, which is the control key. By control clicking on two items, you can select both of them. One of the tools you can use when two things are selected is the control L for link to create this graphical link between them. This arrow then will come in, and you can change the direction of the arrow. You can remove the arrow and just make it a link, or you can make it a bi-directional arrow. Notice, by the way, that these arrows, when they point to something that is currently collapsed or hidden, they show this dotted line, and you can actually go to where that links. The two other features that I want to cover really quickly is the icon feature. For any one of these nodes, when you select them, you can add an icon to them. So I have this selected. I can either go over here to the left-hand side and select an icon, or I can go under the context menu and select an icon from here. It's a little finicky because if you go anywhere outside of this, it's going to disappear on you. So you have to be a little bit careful when you select this, but you can select from the basic icons or go into these levels of hierarchy to find the icon you might need. From that context menu, you can also remove the icon that you're dealing with for that particular node. You can see I've used these icons over here to key me into the discussion order I might want to maintain in a complicated map, to track the status of a particular issue, or to assign a particular task to a group of people. These icons don't mean anything other than what you have assigned them, so sometimes it can be useful to make a legend, paste it on the left-hand side of your mind map so that everybody knows what the different icons mean. If you're using a lot of icons, one thing that can happen is you can be looking at a closed map and you have no idea that there's actually icons down here. In the Format menu, there is a feature called Show Icons Hierarchically. This will show you in the parent node any icons which are in the children of that parent. So you can see that this shows me that those icons go somewhere in the Make a Legend node, and then you can see them as they cascade down. I think that's a little cluttered for this drawing, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that option back off. The last thing I want to cover is auto layout. What auto layout does is it sets up the coloring and the font changes between different levels of the hierarchy. This red font, this green font, and this blue font aren't there by default, and they're actually controlled by a cascading style parameter that I'm not going to cover here. But I am going to show you what it does look like when you start a mind map. You have this very basic look to the map. No matter how many nodes you go down, you still have the same style. This can quickly become confusing because it becomes difficult to tell one layer from the other. You can create that auto layout feature by selecting the root node, going up to a format and selecting automatic layout. As I said before, the style of that layout is very configurable. However, since I use FreeMind primarily for lead-in work, that is, I don't use it for a final product, I don't usually change from this default. That's FreeMind. I hope you use it. Again, it's you can find it by Googling it, and it is a Java app, so it will work on most platforms. It'll help you organize information, keep your mind straight, and improve the quality of your work. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.